I picked up this puck here, and you kind of get your head up and you see his feet going to the left. And most forwards, just by nature, they don't like to stop on pucks. They're pretty lazy. So sometimes you can get them with a good fake and they'll just fly right by you.
DuPont breaks it back out up the near side. He hooks it to the middle. Dropped across to the far side. It bounces back to DuPont for a drag shot. Scores!
And DuPont, a stretch pass looking for Bear. Carter Bear! Score! Over to DuPont, right circle, the shot. He scores! Fourth of the season for Landon DuPont.
Welcome into the first game tape with Tony of the year. I am very happy to be joined by Landon DuPont of the Everett Silvertips. How you doing today, Landon?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Not too bad. Thank you for doing this. You aren't the only talented hockey player in your family. Your brother plays in the AHL, and your dad's played for 3 NHL teams, and he's played overseas for a little bit. How instrumental was your dad in just kind of inspiring your love for hockey?
Yeah, he's been awesome. Like, ever since me and my brother were as young as 2 and 3 years old, he's always been our own little coach. And even off the ice too, he's always showing us how to be great people, and he's always here for us and supporting us. So he's been awesome.
Now, what are some of the good habits that your dad's passed down? I know sometimes it's hard to balance being that coach and being a parent, but what has he done for you?
Yeah, he always just makes sure that me and my brother are always selfless, and you always got to care about the people around you and always be humble. And he's big on working hard and having a good work ethic. So I think that's what I'd say.
With your dad playing over in Germany, towards the end of his career, you ended up playing some of your minor hockey in Berlin. What was that experience like, just getting your start over there?
Those were some of the funnest times of my life. Like, I still have friends that I keep in touch with. It was just really cool to just see that part of the world and see the differences.
Now, you were granted exceptional status by Hockey Canada in the CHL. What made you think you were ready for that next step at such a young age?
I've kind of been playing with older guys my whole life, and it kind of sounds weird to say, but I've kind of just seen myself like in an older age group. And so I feel like with all my buddies moving on, I felt like I was ready for the jump, and I made it with them.
You've been on fire to start your rookie season in the WHL. What's allowed you to have so much success so early on?
The people around me, like my teammates and leaders, have really helped me adapt to the league. Like, they've been a huge help, like all the vets and the captains. They've been in the league much longer than I have, but that just goes to show how much they can help the young guys like me.
What has been the most challenging part of jumping into the WHL at 15 years old, and what was surprisingly easy to translate?
One thing that was challenging was obviously the speed of the game and the physicality aspect. Like, guys are a lot bigger and stronger. Something that was easier is that the game's more controlled. It seems like everyone's in the right spots and they're there when you need them to be.
For anyone that hasn't seen you play, can you describe your game quickly?
I'd say I'm a two-way offensive D-man, and I like to make the people around me better and move the puck fast and use my legs as much as I can.
All right, let's jump into some of the game tape here I've got for you. I'll pull up a play on screen and we'll just break it down a little bit. The play starts in the defensive end. You make a really good play to Carter Bear for your first point. What was this experience like, just making that really good defensive play and then that great pass up ice?
I saw the guy rim puck. It was kind of bouncing on him a bit, so I tried to just kill it as quick as I could and then try to get my feet moving, and then got my head up and saw Carter, my billet brother, and just slung a pass, and it was a good pickup by him, and then obviously a great finish by him as well. That was pretty special. That was a really nice move for him, and obviously my first WHL point, so it was pretty cool.
Now, a lot of times, especially younger players, more inexperienced guys, the defensive side of the puck is a big area to work on. And you make a great play here that starts in the defensive zone, make the pass up ice. How important is it for you to be that defensive presence as you work towards becoming a more well-rounded hockey player?
Yeah, I think it's huge. Like, obviously as a D-man, it's defense first, and you can't be a good D-man if you can't defend. So just trying to kill plays as quick as possible, and obviously, if you play good defense, that leads to good offense.
All right, let's jump into the next clip here I have for you. It starts with just a kind of a loose puck in the neutral zone, and you show so much poise and patience. A skater flies by you, and you're able to make the pass up ice for an eventual goal for your team. What goes into that part of your game?
There's a bit of confidence there and a little risk, but I picked up this puck here, and you kind of get your head up and you see his feet going to the left. And most forwards, just by nature, they don't like to stop on pucks. They're pretty lazy, so sometimes you can get them with a good fake and and they'll just fly right by you. So just knowing the plays that can possibly happen, waiting for those to open up and waiting for your teammates to be there is just a good skill.
You mentioned that you saw his feet going the one way. You kind of had a feeling that he wasn't going to stop up. What goes into that? How much video work are you doing? Is this just something that you've naturally learned over time playing the game of hockey?
Like in practice, when forwards are coming out at you, you kind of just watch their feet and then kind of just keep track of that stuff, and then just translates.
This next play here, it's a power play goal for yourself. Walk me through kind of what's going down on this play where puck comes up to you at the point, you rotate down, eventually work your way in and get a return pass here, and just kind of curl and snipe the puck here. What are you seeing on a play like this?
Obviously, I took it down, and Smitty, he's always there for support and stuff, so I knew he was going to be there, so I flung it back, and then tried to climb the wall as quick as possible to give him an option, and then when he found me, I got my head up and saw that their D-man was taking away the eyes, and the pre-scout on that goalie was low blocker, so tried my best to shoot there and hope for the best, and luckily it went in.
Now, being a 15-year-old defenseman, you're a lot of time just going to be asked to do the best you can, and you're constantly making an impact on the play, from the power play and at 5-on-5. What is kind of the secret to that? You talk about keeping your head up, scanning the ice, and understanding where everyone is. How natural of an ability is that for you?
There's some natural parts of it where it comes with time as well. And the game's so much easier when your teammates are able to talk to you, because it gives you a better idea of what's going on, and it's always keeping your head up and seeing what's open.
This next clip I've got for you is one of my favorite plays by any defenseman this year. The puck is worked up ice, and you make a really great play to just kind of understand where your players are. You drive the lane, and you're not tipping the puck in, but you're creating havoc around the net as a defenseman at 4-on-4. How much confidence do you have to not only join the rush, but be at the front of the net when you are a defenseman?
Takes some confidence, but just trusting that your forwards realize that you're there, and there is some risk with that, but just driving the net really hard brings the D-man back, which in this clip opens up the third guy, which was Bobby, and he made a really nice play.
On a play like this, it starts in the defensive zone where you make a nice play just to kind of tie up that attacker in front of the net and disrupt the clean pass. How much of your game is predicated on being good defensively first and then building off that to create offense?
As a D-man, you're motivated to kill the plays fast, and in that situation, it was just, if I kill this, I can maybe get a jump up ice, and we got that 3-on-2, and then we scored. So that was a nice feeling.
All right, this is the final clip I have for you here, and it's maybe my favorite goal from any defenseman this season. You make an excellent read in the neutral zone to step up and take this puck. As the puck gets to the defensive blue line, get your way up ice, and then you just make a great play on the rebound here, corralling the puck, getting it through the traffic. What are you thinking on a play like this, and how are you reading this initial pickup?
Yeah, obviously we went to go chip it to that forward, and I noticed it was a bit ahead of him, so got my feet moving and tried to get around it as quick as possible. As I drove up ice, I saw I was able to slip it through and got it to Bobby, but there was a guy that jumped right in on him and then kind of popped out, and I just tried to pull it back and get it in my wheelhouse, and then the goalie had no idea where it went because of the good net drive and the good screen by my teammates. But just being able to find those lanes and jump up as much as you can and kill plays at your own blue line as quick as possible.
Who's been the toughest player you've faced up against, either at the WHL level or previous?
I think the toughest player is Braden Yeager on Moose Jaw. His shot is ridiculous, and he's such a force on the forecheck, and it was just going back for pucks, knowing that he was on your tail was really difficult.
Now, if I were to hit shuffle on your playlist on your phone, on Spotify or Apple Music, who's going to be the artist that pops up most?
Probably say Zach Bryan or Noah Kahan.
Very fair. Nobody can see it, but I've got a Noah Kahan record back there.
Yeah, I saw that.
I respect that answer very much. What is your go-to show or movie when you want to binge watch something and just relax when you're away from the rink?
Me and a couple guys on the team actually just finished Prison Break, and we love that. We're kind of bummed that it's all over now, so we're looking for a new show.
Now, it's not your draft year yet, but you have teammates that are going through their draft year, and one of them is Carter Bear, who you're currently staying with. What's it like from an outside perspective seeing the beginning of his draft year, especially with so much success early on?
It's really exciting, and he's at a pretty good start, and he's a big key from our team. But even off the ice, just living with him, he's such a great guy, and he's always helping out around the house. So just learning from him is just a huge help as well.
Your NHL draft year is obviously a few years away in 2027, but how closely do you follow the NHL draft? Are you somebody that makes sure you watch the coverage every year, or is it something that you just kind of leave to the experts?
Well, my dad goes a lot of the time, he loves to go to the draft. And then it's usually just me and my brother sit down and follow along because we usually know a couple people that go. And so it's pretty exciting.
With your draft year a few years away, what's the one thing you think you need to improve on before you get there?
Obviously, my physicality aspect a bit, and then also just defending without the puck and always knowing where my guy is in the D zone.
When your hockey career is over, hopefully in a very, very long time, what do you want people to remember about Landon DuPont?
I just want them to remember me as a great person that always wanted to help the people around me. And I like to do things for the community, and I just want people to remember me for that.
Landon, I really appreciate you doing this. Good luck the rest of the way. This was a fun little interview to get to know you a little bit off the ice and get to pick your brain about some of the stuff you've done on the ice this season. You've been on pace to have a great season. You're right up there with the guys like Connor Bedard and Connor McDavid, scoring wise for an exceptional status player. So keep up the good work, and I look forward to watching the rest of the year.
Yeah, thank you.